Nikita, a tough day out there. Certainly, that's how it looked from the times. Is that how it felt from within the cockpit?
No, not really. I mean, there is no difficult days and no easy days in the sport. You know, they're all on some kind of level of demand, and that's what we're here for. But certainly, we're using those Friday practices to experiment with the setup, you know, and then try and, you know, diverse both cars into something that could potentially give us a good gain, as you know, the free practices were reduced from last year. So yeah, we're just trying things, and then going into tomorrow will be more equal and finalized, let's say.
You told me last week that you were experimenting with different setups throughout the weekend, and after qualifying you said tried a different one for all 3 practice sessions and ended up with the base setup for qualifying. Are the differences between the setups that you're trialing quite extreme, or are they all within sort of a minutiae of one another?
Yeah, I would say, being truly honest, they are rather extreme, and they're quite frustrating because, you know, with this car, I would say it's probably one of the most difficult aero packages that I've ever driven, and the issue with the setups is that they don't really make sense to what feedback they give, and therefore I'm quite lost in that respect, because, you know, coming from junior formulas, more aero balance means more oversteer, but in F1 that definitely doesn't mean that. You know, it gives, you know, different way the tires work during the lap and all sorts of things that affect the warm-up. So I don't want to be too boring, but it's quite extreme, and it's not very straightforward, let's say.
What do you need then to get on top of that? Do you need to work with a baseline first and foremost before experimenting with different setups?
Well, I probably need a little bit of engineering classes, because I've always gone with the approach that a driver does his job and the engineers do theirs. But I think at the moment we speak a bit of a different language, and I'm going to study, without joking, quite a few details of that to understand how I can also advise the team on making the car better, because I think the way it's working right now is not very promising.